This roller coaster of a story starts off with a protagonist who's getting his world handed to him by a woman. You can immediately tell this story is about to be good. Chen Yu is pinned on the ground receiving backshots and questioning why these imbeciles want to steal his supplies. The arrogant woman justifies her actions by stating that it's only right for her to prepare against the apocalypse. Since she's got fame and power under her heel, he's basically an NPC to her, a weakling to be trampled upon. She challenges him to take back her supplies, but shortly after orders her men to stomp his ass to the ground. What a way to raise his hopes and crush it all down. Also, this chick is doing it for the love of the game, as she throws the food away without even eating it. Left alone on the ground, her lackeys bicker and make fun of the idiot who is nothing more than a loser. A stepping stone for them to play with. A cause for entertainment. It's the age-old loser main character backstory. Chen Yu, however, is a determined soul and contests her decision. He drags himself all the way to the psycho chick, only to get his hand stepped on. Now I know some of you guys are probably wishing you were getting humiliated instead of this guy, but Chen Yu's not about that life. Anyway, the chick's ego is through the roof and she thinks this dude isn't even worth her time to be a lapdog, let alone be in her presence. Finally, she reveals that Yi, probably this dude's crush, ended up choosing her brother instead of him. So this man is not only getting squashed, but they also took his bitch. That's a top-tier villain origin story right there. Chen Yu, practically moping at the ground, refuses to accept defeat. I think there is hope for everyone in this world, because even a loser like him apparently gets to have a system popping up out of nowhere. It detected his sharp feelings of vengeance and binded those feelings to the system. Upon binding, bro receives more money than Elon Musk. Dude was hit with more than 9 trillion credits to spare. If this is what happens after getting beat and losing my girlfriend, then sign me up. Anyway, the funniest part is the use case of these credits. Apparently he can use them to cast his revenge against women. The author must be Andrew Tate or something because, what kind of system is this? The scumbag system, one of its kind, apparently wants this dude to be a simp, but not in the way you would expect. The money is only to lure the gold diggers, and then give them a bitch slap of a reality check in the face. The more he pisses off such women, the more his credits will take a rise. Yes, this is what we're going with, you heard me right. His credits will also max out at the rate of 100-fold with every woman pissed off. Bro gets way too excited about spending the amount and becoming insanely powerful. They also give this man an additional bonus on top of it. Chen Yu's out here celebrating and aspires to a revenge plot against Lin Beiwei and all those who tramped on him. Out of nowhere, a redhead comes out of nowhere demanding him to get lost and to quit pretending to be injured. She doesn't want to lend him anything, not a single penny or any kind of supplies. But in response, Chen Yu surprises her saying that he's got it covered and that he wants to treat her to some food for the day. Of course, this pisses off Chu Yao even more, which fuels the system into converting credits. This verifies the legitimacy of the system to Chen Yu, who actually hands her a whole bunch of supplies for being good looking. All of a sudden, she's shocked and finds him alluring. Right now, her affection points are at 10. Reaching 100 points means a person has been successfully conquered. When that happens, anything spent on her will be immediately refunded, a side quest that he wasn't expecting at all to hear. Chu Yao's still surprised that this guy is letting her keep so many supplies. He promises to give her more stuff when she's done with these, and even shares his address. This causes her affection to grow even more, realizing that he's so caring and all. With every action taken, her affection grows and reaches 30 points. Chen Yu returns home, excited that he's making good progress. But the minute he's there, he spots a couple having fun with each other, which is just the opportunity he needed. The woman is shocked that he appeared out of nowhere, but he reminds them that the elevator is free for anyone to use. The scumbag wearing the red coat mocks him for trying to get back to his old girl after losing her. But Chen Yu is out here verbally murdering the man by calling his ex a pair of broken shoes. Lu Yi's rage increases as she lashes at him, but he's no longer interested in having an above-average woman. Bro is swinging for actual goddesses now. Anyway, the girl from before, Chu Yao, comes out of nowhere with her staggering beauty, immediately paralyzing the scumbag who was so in love with Yi just now. He's been wanting to meet her for a while and now he finally has the chance to do it. But this dude catches a massive L when the goddess simply walks up to Chen Yu, ignoring the asshole. Meanwhile, the clown is shocked that a loser like Chen was able to score such a top-tier goddess. Yi is out here losing her man while Chen Yu decides to enjoy this one-time opportunity to further bruise their egos. He casually talks to the beautiful redhead, who mentions how prices of supplies have skyrocketed immensely right after the start of the apocalypse. The same bread that went for 8 yuan now costs 160. Yi interrupts both their eye conversation, mocking him for being so pathetically poor that he's not able to have bread. Sensing the need to flip over Yi's feelings, this man gifts Chu Yao a good amount of food supplies, blessing her greatly. This causes the short-haired jealous dimwit to get even more angered by him. Chen Yu is not in the mood to even entertain a conversation with her and tells her to go back to her previous attitude for a chance. His words hit her like an emotional truck, increasing her rage points. Deciding to egg her on even more, he reminds Yi that she can't even hold a proper argument despite being a top student, so her true talent must be getting a new man to coddle her at night. Wow, this dude is really not holding anything back. Yi tries her best to spit out a comment, but Chen Yu is casual with it. My boy thinks she's a fragile mess. Meanwhile, Chu Yao fully makes him her new bodyguard and allows her a space to live in. He's chasing a safe place with a goddess, and he's already making bank with that account. Things are looking fine for them, as they leave the amateurish couple behind, treating them like garbage. Yi's rage climbs so high that it converts to 100,000 points right off the bat. Also, Chu Yao's favorability for him is also increasing, which allows him an extra 100,000 for treating her well. Chen Yu is living life. The goddess is really curious if he's got some kind of magic ability to create food out of thin air. He decides to accept magic as the excuse and promises to keep his word. Chu Yao gets up in his air, teasing him with a comment and asking if he's really into her. The blonde boy changes topics and suggests they should eat. But playing hard to get works wonders for this guy, because the goddess is all the more motivated to conquer him over time. Meanwhile, Bro is out here sweating bullets, realizing that she's making moves when her favorability has only reached 50. He's terrified of her and doesn't want to do things early on. A news channel announces the incoming cold wave to arrive, which will cause temperatures to drop and induce heavy rain. The apocalypse also brought unstable weather conditions alongside it. He fears that power outages will follow them shortly and mutations will keep on coming. Speaking of the devil, the power went out, surprising Chu Yao because it's far too early and the rain hasn't even started yet. All of a sudden, the door begins to knock. The voice from the other side is from an inspector who wants to check up for their routinely inspection. As the goddess is reaching for the door handle, our boy tells her to stop. She doesn't get why he's stopping her like that. When suddenly Chen Yu reminds her that the inspection crew shouldn't be here for at least 15 more days. She then wonders if it has something to do with the power outage, or perhaps they've come to check for illegal substances. The blonde boy counters that too, teasing her for thinking this is a college room dorm. This remark gets on her nerves and increases her rage points. Anyway, Chen steps up and explains that the maintenance she's talking about should fall under the responsibility of the property management crew, and not the neighborhood inspection committee. The voice from the other side roars and demands they open. Chen's got a blade ready in hand, and using the peephole, he responds by saying that they're busy making love so they can't open up. The goddess is shocked that he used this as an excuse. The chumps on the other side of the door are extremely annoyed and demand them to open the door. Wow, they really want to give them an audience. Anyway, they accuse the couple for causing the outage, causing Chu Yao to get pissed. Sensing danger from the front, he tells her to get behind so she doesn't get hurt in the mess. The goddess is stunned that he's doing this much to help her out. In reality, this man only cares about his credits, but his actions increased her favorability up to 60 points. Bro thinks she might fall for him flat if he cooks her a meal at this point. Anyway, the door is slammed open by the ugly imbeciles. Right off the bat, Chen Yu realizes that this is going to be hard to manage. Meanwhile, these dirty clowns are salivating at the sight of food out in the open. Chen Yu makes an excuse that one of their family members died, and this food is nothing more than a bunch of offerings. But these guys don't care at all. They just want to become fatter than Gorlock the Destroyer, apparently. Chen Yu pulls out his blade and intimidates the crap out of the invaders by killing their leader, all the while giving his girl an orgasm. The other two want to kill him, so Chen pulls out another strategy. He surrendered all the food for a chance to escape. It's a pretty good deal, so one of them snatches the bag from him. Both of them decide to leave, happy that they were able to achieve their objective. But what they didn't understand was that this was a plan to create an opening. Chen Yu easily pounces from behind and slashes another one of them in cold blood, frightening the goddess. He dodges an attack from the last guy, and thinks it's only fair for them to take the food back, since these guys didn't even care about offerings to the dead. The last guy gives in to his greed, and this time, he's not planning to get deceived. Chen Yu surprises him with a display of his powers, as he can materialize food out of thin air. This created another opening for him to use, allowing Chen to kill the final guy. The goddess is horrified by his ruthlessness and manipulative side. He simply tells her to shut up because Bro does not give a frick. It increases the goddess's rage, but that only goes on to reward him. She's terrified at the sight of danger and wonders what they should do now, especially since the others will come looking for them. Chen Yu argues that nobody cares much about dead bodies in the middle of the apocalypse, and he's fine burying these guys in the garden. But their plans go to shit the moment Yi pops out of the blue, stating that she's seen it all. The blonde threatens to kill them all, promising that they won't live to tell the tale. Of course, they threaten him back by saying that they'll alert the police, which is funny to me. The fact that they're relying on the police in the middle of an apocalypse. Bro also kicks the clown straight in the nuts, ending his family for generations to come. So the main issue is, they just want food for themselves, and they want the main character to provide them with supplies as his neighbors. But our boy argues that he's motivated to kill them all instead. Yi taunts him, stating that no one would care about his shitty supplies if not for the fact that they were in the middle of an apocalypse. To that, he casually retorts that they should mind their own business if his food is so insignificant. After all, he's got the supplies and they're just here to take them without giving anything in return. The more he talks, the more he pisses off Yi, even going as far as to make her beg for food. Her rage grows even further, while Lin, the dude who got hit in the family jewels, has had enough. He orders his lackeys to attack the couple. Goddess Chu Yao over here is ready to smack them with her shoe, not like that's gonna do anything. With laser-fast speed, Chen Yu ends their pathetic lives in an instant, horrifying Yi Yi and Lin as he's done being bullied around. He stands over the terrified couple, remarking that it's time for them to meet their maker. Lin tries to attack him, but what good will that do, as he receives a hard stab? Chen Yu promises to properly educate his sister after dealing with Yi Yi. The dead man's body flops to the ground while Yi Yi immediately goes for an attitude switch. She claims that she was trying to test him, and now that he passed, they can be together again. Bro is genuinely fed up with her bullshit and tells her to get lost. I'm surprised that he let her escape. The goddess is a bit annoyed that he let her escape, taunting him for having some past feelings. But Chen Yu tells her that jealousy is pointless if Yi Yi is her competition. Also, she's worried if they'll actually be burying these people in the garden. Bro reveals that he's a menace and intends to throw out their bloodied bodies out the window. This will show their enemies that they shouldn't come mess around with them. Do you guys remember the chick who was bullying him at the start? Wei's lackeys are worried about the cold wave, but she's fine, knowing that her brother can always pitch her some supplies. That is, until she and her group hear the sound of people screaming about dead bodies falling from the sky. Wei receives the perfect gift to ruin her evening as her brother's corpse hits the pavement with a splat. She screams as even more bodies are tossed from out the window and onto the road. Seeing that it's raining dead bodies, the chick instantly faints out of terror. With the bodies thrown out, the goddess wonders how they will counteract the cold wave. Chen has a plan, but he wants to enjoy something to eat before rushing to make a decision. The system reviews and assesses the additional points he gained, and he goes on to present the hot lady a nice meal. She takes a bite, grateful that a guy like him is so considerate of her even during an apocalypse. As for Chen, he's not hungry and doesn't want to waste time. He has to prepare his defense against the cold wave. Meanwhile, Chu Yao's favorability finally reaches 100, and she is fully tamed. He gains all of the points that were spent on her and unlocks even more features. But aside from that, our boy wasn't expecting to run into Wei all of a sudden. She's still knocked out, while her men take notice of the loser from before. Our boy feigns ignorance, acting like they called someone else. Bro also proceeds to slap the living daylights out of the guy for making a mom joke. He wants to wrap this up quickly, especially after investing 100,000 points to boost his physical stats so he could bully these clowns back. The bald head is shocked seeing the kid from before get so strong. He gets on his knees and begs to accept the error of his ways. As for the other guy, he also apologizes and starts calling Chen Yu as Big Bro. They're happy to help him do anything. Actually, they're terrified and afraid of what he'll ask. After giving it a thought, Chen Yu asks them about the cause of the power and water outage. Turns out that the goons he killed from before were responsible for shutting it off manually. It was their scheme to steal supplies. Chen tells them to turn it back on, and he also wants them to bring Wei up to his apartment. If they can do that, their lives will be saved. It's the perfect offer and the boys accept it. Later that day, they're having a delicious meal when Bei Wei finally regains her consciousness, questioning where the heck they are. She's shocked that they're casually enjoying beef noodles, and when she spots Chen Yu responsible for the cause, the girl throws a fit. She reminds her lackeys not to be bribed at the cost of some damn noodles. Chen fully offers her a chance to eat noodles as well. But she thinks he's being arrogant and assuming that he's in it for Yi Yi's sake, not knowing that Yi Yi ran the fudge away earlier. The teasing continues, with our boy mocking her for not eating the noodles and enjoying his own food. Meanwhile, Bei Wei's rage levels are going up all the way. Pissed off and unable to contain herself any longer, she slaps the bowl from one of her lackeys, demanding that they stop eating like a bunch of idiots. Then, turning her attention to the elephant in the room, she roars at the loser Chen Yu, demanding that he make a set of noodles for her as well. Her orders also included kneeling and feeding it to her until she's satisfied. Failure to follow through with this will make her call her brother on him, which is a really hilarious thing, considering our boy decimated her brother a while ago and even chucked his corpse out the damn window. The irony, am I right? Anyway, like a Sigma male with a low tolerance for bullshit, Bro carefully sets his bowl down and grabs her hand. And in the next scene, throws her the frick out for being rude. As he slams the door shut, Chu Yao feels guilty for the innocent girl who won't have any shelter against the cold wave. She's getting annoyed with his every action, and Chen Yu's not taking it lightly either, because Bro breaks the unspoken rule and straight up asks if she's worried about Bei Wei's cramps. The funny thing? Bei Wei is indeed hurting from the way he tossed her out so ruthlessly and without any noodles. The real trouble starts when she starts taking notice of the snow just around her. Her fears get amplified when she realizes that the cold wave that was supposed to arrive later has come too early. Smacking her arms against the door, she offers Chen Yu's life to be spared as long as he lets her inside, promising she won't call her brother anymore. But if he doesn't do that, he is for sure going to die. Chen Yu destroys this girl with an immediate reality check, reminding her ruthlessly how her brother's corpse is rotting in the cold. It all clicks, occurring to Bei Wei that the corpse that fell from the sky earlier was actually her brother's own. I have to pause here for a second and point out how dumb she was for not being able to recognize it sooner. Bei Wei denies such ridiculous claims, which is interesting, so Chen Yu happily decides to tell her the location of the corpse. He tells her that her brother's body is downstairs. Again, Wei denies his words, but this time tears are forming at the corners of her eyes. She knows his words are true, but she doesn't want to accept the grim reality. Also, Yi pops out of nowhere, offering Wei a chance to get shelter and saving herself. If not for that, she would be rotting in the cold as well. The whole scene was observed by Chu Yao, who realizes that this situation may play out detrimental in the long run for them. After all, Yi is obviously going to plot her own plans against them. Chen carefully considers his options for a second, while his so-called bros are also trying to win him over, begging for a chance to let the pitiful girl inside. By the way, Wei runs to seek Yi's embrace, but Chen is done sitting around and makes up his mind to finally help her, even after what happened to him. Upon opening the door, he found the two women surprised to see that he opened up. To Wei's utter shock, Yi deploys her previous trick, begging for another chance from Chen Yu because she can't handle the cold herself and is starving for food. Seeing this, even Wei is like, what the hell did this woman just say to him? She even tries to stop her from kneeling to this loser, and her rage only continues to increase. She wants to be a girl boss, acting like noodles are nothing to them. But to her utter amazement, Yi pushes her away like she never even knew this woman. She's all on her knees before the guy, begging for another chance, even tugging his shirt and offering to become his dog. But unfortunately for her, our boy isn't into weird kinks like that and swats her away. With Yi reduced to such a humiliating position, Wei tries to tell her that they can always find supplies and that a woman like her shouldn't be on her knees begging for supplies. But her request is met with a psychotic fit coming from the girl, who lashes out and reminds the dumb woman that it's already -1 degrees outside. That would be no different than trying to kill themselves. Also, this fake shoddy is all of a sudden acting like Wei was responsible for pinning her against Chen Yu in the first place. She finishes her rant by coldly admitting that it's a good thing Lin faced his death. After all, it's only thanks to her brother's wealth that she was forced to draw away from Chen Yu. Yeah, that sounds about the delusional Yi we've seen so far. Ignoring all the insults, Wei's attention is fixated on a single comment, the part that highlighted her brother's death. Yi doubles down and explains that both Wei and her brother are rotten to the core, mere scumbags and nothing more. Witnessing the entertaining drama before his eyes, Chen Yu is genuinely enjoying the scene. He applauds them as the system takes notice of their anger, which only fuels his personal bank account. Then he starts off by pointing out two important things. The first is, he doesn't give a damn about Yi and wants her to flip off. This causes her rage to increase by another 279 points. Secondly, he turns to Wei and openly admits that he's the murderer responsible for her brother's death. The only person who hasn't accepted that fact is Wei herself. He's all chill with her submitting to him, and he's happy to consider her as his sister if that happens. But if she doesn't follow this offer, she'll meet the same fate as Yi. His condescending words anger her even more than Yi, shooting her rage points up to another 600. She calls him a lapdog who deserves death. But that's all he needed to hear, as our boy shuts the damn door on her face, leaving her seething with fury outside. This woman is about to explode like Hiroshima with the way her rage points her skyrocketing every second. From the other side, the blonde boy is pretty impressed by her insane anger issues. Still, he was able to gain nearly 2,300 rage points, which exchanged for about 230,000 credits, shooting his balance all the way up to 400,000. Despite their ranting, they only continue to make him richer. The joyous news of receiving 400,000 is making our boy salivate at the profit rate. He thinks these girls are actually the best things that ever happened to him. His stupid and childlike maniacal laughter has Wei's underlings acting terrified. They don't know what's gotten into this guy all of a sudden, as if he's turned evil and is going to kill them soon. But instead, bro is in the mood to party. He whips out tons of beer thanks to his hefty supply system, and announces that they'll be drinking until they're all fully knocked out. Their celebration is interrupted when suddenly, the power goes out yet again, alarming them all. Even Chu Yao is surprised, as it shouldn't make sense for a second power cut. She wonders if the neighborhood committee people are responsible for causing trouble again. After all, they did pull off a bold scheme like last time. Wei's underlings spell their demise. The problem is, with no electricity, there is no heating. And if there is no heating to keep them warm, the temperature will quickly drop and destroy them thanks to the cold wave. You know, I find it hilarious that it's practically freezing outside and Chu Yao hasn't even done the slightest to cover herself up. Anyway, Chen Yu shares his own thoughts. He doesn't believe that the people of the committee are responsible for this one. This time, it's possible that the temperature dropped so low that it affected the circuits and caused some sort of jamming. But that's a new problem in and of itself. Chen Yu tells them not to panic, as they can survive without electricity thanks to the gas supply. He recommends eating hot food so they can feel warmer as a result. Finally, he addresses Chu Yao's outfit and recommends she use warm clothes. Unfortunately, this chick doesn't have anything apart from seasonal clothes. The rest of the clothes she throws away. Now that's another level of richness. A girl is getting a new wardrobe every season at this point. The worst part? She doesn't even have blankets. This is bad news. So Chen Yu turns to his system, inquiring how much time is needed until the next item category is unlocked in the shop. The system explains that in order to unlock that tier from the Vengeance shop, He's gonna have to spend a staggering 500,000 credits. Bro's jaw drops in disgust and annoyance. He blurts out his thoughts in real life, calling her a failure and a stupid woman, which is the easiest way to make your girlfriend pissed right off the bat. She questions why would someone ever even keep winter clothes in the summer. Chen Yu bites back, emphasizing that it's normal to do that and keep them in your closet. He thinks she's being annoyed for no reason when she's the one who did something stupid in the first place. Again, don't ever do this to your girlfriend. It's the fastest way to end up single. Chu Yao calls him brain damaged, but I think our boy is actually executing a strategy here to make her mad and collect more points on top. Meanwhile, the two underlings observing the scene are terrified because mommy and daddy are having a fight. They're practically trembling and wonder if the cold got to their heads. Chu Yao's completely fed up and fuming with rage. She turns to them and calls all three of the men brain-dead fools. Just like planned, Chen Yu pissed her off the right amount, causing the system to assess the points and hand him another conversion of 100,000. With this, his balance is set to be used. He can now deploy 500,000 points and unlock another tier in the shop. Of course, it all depends on what he'll find in the shop, because if it's not the clothes he's looking for, they're all doomed. The goddess is still pissed and annoyed that he's practically beefing with her for no reason because of his damn supplies. Her continuous rage fuels his currency and adds to his account. Bro is having a laugh in the middle of her temper tantrum, which baffles her completely and makes her stop for a second. Lucky for them, the power came back. The underlings in the back are celebrating with glee. Finally, they're all saved. Even the goddess is surprised how it came back quicker than she thought, so maybe it was just an outage and nothing more. Chen Yu is glad that his luck worked out in the moment he really needed it. Then he ended up spending 100,000 points to secure half a year's worth of utilities for them. With this, they're all set, and the only thing left is to cash in. So what this man does next is that he brings out a megaphone and announces his services to the entire apartment building. He explains that he's happy to take care of any revenge plans against any suffering they've endured. His sudden announcement is met with rage by everyone in the building. They think this dude is a clown who's making sick jokes in the middle of an apocalypse while they're practically freezing their balls off. It's a good thing though, as their rage comes with points, helping him line up his pockets with more and more credits. Bro is enjoying being a menace to society, hoping that he pisses off some more fellows with this side of him. While he's quietly giggling, the underlings are suspicious of his mental health and if the cold got to his brain. Poor boy ends up getting decimated hearing those words. They really think he's on the spectrum after all. Anyway, the rage points from the total amount collected line up to upwards of 800,000, the most he's ever received in one go. Bro is out here posing with his fit, while the rest of them are genuinely concerned for his mental health, even going as far as to ask, "What's 1 + 1?" just to see if he's doing all right. Chen Yu doesn't give a damn about math questions anymore and basically says, "Frick the rules because I am the rules," thanks to the fact that he's getting free money out here. Xu Yao is genuinely having a headache with all the things that are happening recently. What's worse, the neighbors are angry and banging at their door, ready to smash their way inside if he doesn't open up. Turns out, his words didn't come at a cheap price. And they can't even fight all of these guys at once. One of the underlings has already accepted his fate, even though the goddess thinks they're doomed. But not to worry, Blonde Boy comes in a hurry. He talks about how he's experienced in a variety of skills called PUA, CPU, KTV, and PPT. Now the baffled reaction of the underlings is on point, because just like us, they're like, "What the heck?" Apparently, those abbreviations meant that he's skilled in manipulation, brainwashing, betrayal, and selling fake promises. Outside the building, there's a bad bitch demanding for the tough guy to come out in the open since he was so brave earlier. She even threatens to smash their power box if these guys don't open the door soon. This is bad, especially when Chen Yu realizes that he's dealing with a famous internet celebrity called Sun Signer. So he comes out acting like a chill guy, bringing out a big and small hammer for them to use. Signer's servant mocks our boy for thinking they won't actually break the power box. Even she calls him brain dead. Damn, the brain dead allegations are strong with this story. Chen pushes away the little bitch and fully encourages them to go ahead and smash the power box. So that's exactly what this guy does. He uses the big hammer to break the power box, while Chen observes calmly. Signer calls him a loser, reminding him that this is the consequence of messing with the wrong people. Even her lackey is overconfident and wants to treat Chen Yu as his new underling. But what they don't realize, that this is all a good thing for the main character. To their utter shock, the power box recovers on its own, even though it was smashed just now. Signer and the others don't have any words to explain what happened either. Chen Yu is in the mood to fudge around, so he mocks the servant for being so weak that he couldn't break the power box. So that's what he does. He tries again and again, just like the Winter Soldier from Marvel Rivals with his stupid ultimate. At first, the servant thinks that the power box is completely ruined, but then it recovers right before his very eyes, sinking him in despair. Our boy calmly insults Signer's taste in men, taunting her for picking weak-looking stick figures who can't even break a simple box. Fully enraged, the idiot turns to Chen Yu and decides to make him his target instead of the power box. Of course, he flunks that too, because our boy casually evades his swing and uses this as an opening to deliver a knee kick to his generational jewels. The eggs, the balls, the jewels, the generation, the kids, Gone for life. That humiliating attack staggers him completely, while Chen figures he should call him the Prince of Emptiness from now on, since that's what any woman dating him will be having. Someone threw him outside in the cold to tend to that critical burn. The internet celeb thinks she's a hotshot and argues that they'll be running out of supplies soon even if their power box is intact. Which is hilarious, because Chen Yu acts like a dainty princess who doesn't have the best solution against it. Just like any TikToker in this crooked generation, she tells him about her so-called influence and how she's got millions of followers. But little does she know, our boy does not give a flying fudge. He even mocks her by revealing the countless options of feasts he could be having at any time he pleases. Scener clearly wasn't expecting that. Her mouth is left open at the sight of him casually summoning food out of thin air. She immediately raises a question of how he was able to summon the food, and is on the verge of believing that superpowers exist in this world. Her rage levels are off the charts because of her inflated ego. After all, not even a giant influencer with millionaires' followers behind her has a power like that, so it doesn't make sense why a normal loser should. She tells her men to smash everything, but Chen Yu was ready for that, and he summons 2 baskets full of eggs in the hands of his underlings. It turns into an all-out egg assault with the way they're chucking eggs at her and her men. To make it worse, these are all rotten eggs, causing Zyner a nauseating feeling. Her rage continues to grow, and she's pissed at her outfit getting all ruined. The older man is running out of patience and demands the boy to stop messing around. But Chen does him the worst. Bro chucks the entire basket on his head. The stench coming off of this guy after that should be enough to make all life go extinct. The old man tumbles and flops to the ground. Bro was knocked out, while Chen Yu signals his underlings to get inside, as they've done enough. The door slams shut with all 3 of them entering inside, leaving Zyner and her lackeys covered in bad smell and stains of rotten eggs. She's done playing around and wants to end his damn life, even offering her body to the person who manages to take the bastard down. Inside, Chu Yao is worried that these guys will actually break in at this point. But Chen is calm. Bro's convinced that not even the strength of Godzilla will be enough to break the damn door. So he goes on to sit casually, opening a new category from his system and converting points. Right now, his current balance sits north of 1.5 million. Luckily, even the clothing category unlocked just when he needed it the most. Their troubles get even worse with the start of acid rain, as pointed out by Chu Yao. She warns them of the inevitable. And our boy's response? He thinks this is just the right time to take a walk. Even his bros are like, yeah, we're actually following you on that one. One of them has become his biggest fan, and Chen Yu applauds him for it. He hands him a jacket so they can be safe while doing exploration. The guy asks if they're going to be heading out on a secret mission, and even wonders if Chen is secretly the leader of a damn underground organization somewhere. Chen Yu tells him not to get deluded by power fantasy novels and urges him to come with him. With the 2 of them exiting the apartment, he sees Zyner and her lackeys still standing around. Bro legit swipes her away as if she was nothing more than an obstacle in his path. Insulted by this treatment, the influencer is ticked off. She can't believe that he actually touched her like that, especially when she's got millions of followers. Celebrities look up to her, and then here's a loser who wouldn't give 2 shits if she died. As expected, the rage points only go up from here. Just like the other underlings, this one immediately switches allegiance and betrays Zyner. He's more than happy to tag alongside Chen Yu, so long as he's provided and cared for. The influencer wasn't expecting this trash servant to actually betray her like this. Zhao Tian looks at her with disgust and tells her to get lost as he's found a new brother with superpowers, which is just hilarious. The influencer warns our boy that he's not getting off lightly for having enraged her to this extent. Zyner acts like a stuck-up and states that she's willing to ignore everything as long as he cares for her with food and water. To her absolute shock, Bro slaps the living daylights out of her, reminding her to know her place. The influencer continues to yap on and on about her millions of fans, ordering him to hit her again if he's so brave. The hilarious freaking part? Bro does it again and gets on his knees this time too. The influencer can't believe that he's actually slapping her like this. She's never been treated with some tough love, as everyone she's ever known only ever tried to win her favor over. The girl is so delusional that she thinks he's using reverse psychology to increase his chances somehow. Which is funny, because Chen literally doesn't give a crap and has acquired a free servant on top of it. As his 2 underlings are fighting each other in the back, our boy announces that they'll be leaving now without any more trouble. A while passes, and as they're walking in the hall, they come across Beiwei, who is practically shivering in the damn cold. Her underling tries to help her out. She's in such a pitiful condition that H is beginning to be saved. He offers her the jacket Chen Yu gave him. In his mind, our boy thinks she's only temporarily surrendering to increase her chances of survival. He tells the guy to take her upstairs and let Chu Yao handle the rest in regards to her condition. This leaves him to tread on his own outside. The acid rain is getting serious and corroding the living and the non-living. Chen Yu doesn't have high hopes, but he wonders how the delivery station is holding up, since he's got an important package he's got to check up on. As he's moving along, a woman out of nowhere demands his attention. He wasn't expecting to be called out like this. The woman's clothes are all tattered, and she boasts an assertive tone, demanding that he come to her. Chen has found his type and thinks she's quite smart to lure him with a honey trap. Bro is so swooned that he's happy to aid her with any troubles. To his surprise, the Czech pulls a blade to his neck, demanding that he take off his clothes immediately. Yeah, I know what you guys are thinking, but she doesn't mean it that way. Even with a knife against his neck, Bro is casual with his flirting attempt and reminds her not to be so harsh. The woman doesn't want him talking and only cares about his clothes. He then asks how he'll get back if he does surrender them. The lady doesn't really care and only cares about herself. To which Chen remarks that she's brilliant. Her sharp eyes peer him with a glare, and she demands him to follow orders or die. Following her orders, he slowly takes off his hood and offers to help her. He's okay with sorting out her issues after all. The woman, just like the others, receives the hood and talks him down for being a loser who shouldn't even be given the chance to talk to someone like her. Chen smiles, this time having had enough. He forces the system to dematerialize the hood from her hand and equips it back to himself. This time, Chen tells her that he's open to help as long as she's willing to beg. Unable to comprehend the slightest of what happened before her eyes, she helplessly stares down at her hands, questioning how it disappeared. With that, Chen continues his walk, ignoring her. But the woman is still adamant in her stance and reminds him that negotiations are out of the question. She attempts to slash him with her blade, but our boy easily catches her feeble attempt and pushes her next to a wall, before pushing her arm up and reminding her dearly that it's her who isn't qualified to talk to him. The woman still maintains an arrogant attitude, claiming that not even his skills will be useless in an apocalypse where bottom feeders like him have no value. Just like all the others, she taunts him for not even having the resources to survive. He lets her go, and calmly explains that he can have as many resources as he wants. She thinks he's lying and talks him down for being so helpless that he can't even have a proper meal. She's fine with him leaving with his clothes intact, as long as she runs an errand for her around the hospital. The reward? Bro is gonna get 2 bundles of noodles. She's out here thinking that she's doing him a favor, but Bro is internally seething at the thought. This man legit slaps her across the face, giving the woman a reality check as he exclaims that 2 bundles aren't worth his while. Meanwhile, this girl is having some serious issues understanding the loser before her. She can't believe she took a hit from a bottom-dwelling clown. But Chen is finished talking around, and he simply turns the other way while she's mouthing his name. The woman tells her that she'll remember this treatment, but he's simply uninterested in entertaining her any longer. In fact, he gives her his address, welcoming her to come test him anytime. She's pissed, but she wants to wait until she gets all her supplies back. Anyway, having collected his package, our boy returns to the apartment building through the elevator. Here, he finds the influencer who immediately goes for an attitude switch. This time, the chick is practically worshipping him and begging for a chance to be let inside. Chen Yu is starting to realize how she ended up becoming a top influencer. It's because of shenanigans like this. His underlings warn him to be wary of the woman who has already caught on that they've got unlimited supplies. That's why she turns so calm. The fake bitch even grabs his hand, teasing him and telling him that she's all his now. She doesn't even want to live stream anymore and promises to dance for him. The girl even offers suspicious services, but as a man of aura, our boy reminds her that he doesn't care about anything but her attitude. If she's fine with keeping that in check, he's good. And that's how Zener joined the crew. She's handled by Chu Yao, who takes her to a shower because of how bad she stinks. With all of the rage points recently collected, his credits shoot up to 2 million. Also, Zener's favorability for him is genuine and is slowly increasing. With this, he'll be able to bank on the same benefits like he did with Chu Yao. With the package collected, the blonde boy enters a state of contemplation. So far, money is no longer an obstacle or a thorn in his path. Now he's just waiting for the next category to unlock, which requires a staggering 3 million credits. But the effect grants superpower fruits, allowing the use of even more abilities. Bro is acting like Gojo with his "I'm so invincible and lonely" monologue. Meanwhile, the goddess is a bit shocked that he risked walking in the acid rain just to get a package. Chen Yu amusingly teases, asking if he should have picked her up instead of the package. This little flirt is enough to knock the wind over her. She goes on ranting that she doesn't want to be married to him, which is just as random of a comment to him as it is to the rest of us. Anyway, Chen takes out a teddy bear from the box, and his servant teases his boss for having a romantic and cute side to him. Our boy tells him to shut up and go back to bed. The other guy takes him to stop being an eyesore, and leaves the master bedroom for the couple to use. Yeah, Chen is practically having a nosebleed at the thought when suddenly, the building shakes with a strong earthquake. But trust me, it's not an earthquake, but a roaring woman on his door who wants to exact her revenge for what this bastard did to her. They're all looking at him in bafflement, while Beiwei thinks that they're getting used to these situations now. Chen gets pissed and roars at them to go to sleep, especially when Beiwei is out here assuming that he banged a chick or something. Bro is not escaping the allegations and thinks he's in for one sleepless night. Dude is so chill and confident in that damn door that he's ready to award her the title of boss so long as she breaks in. He even summons tea for his little bros, who are just living the life. Meanwhile, the influencer is out here acting like a tier 1 OnlyFans model with how she's posing for him. Even Chen agrees that she's packing, and Beiwei's servants are practically wilding out seeing her in that outfit. Beiwei is pissed and knocks them to their senses. Chen internalizes that the world's perception of you is always based on your own actions. Since the crazy girl is still banging on their door, Chu Yao is worried that they'll disturb the neighbors and bring unneeded attention around. Bro gets up and casually reminds her that he's the one who's been sticking up for her throughout this time. His comment makes her even more pissed, which only helps our boy in the long run. He decides to take mercy and opens the door, only to find himself held at gunpoint. Bro acts helpless, but he should because this chick is holding a damn rifle in his face. She's ready to unleash the bullets on him, but he gives her an ultimatum. The first choice is that she keeps on trying to kill him, and the second is that they team up together and he'll take care of all of her troubles. Of course, the chick is still enraged and thinks he's bragging like he's some rich god. Chen Yu reveals that it's only her outward appearance that acts so tough, and if she really wants to shoot him, then he's happy to slam the door on her face, which he actually ends up doing. The shocking factor to this girl is that not even her siege-level weapon is able to pierce the damn door. Realizing that she's at a loss, she promises to let him go for now. But if he ever messes around with her again, he's gonna bite the bullet. The door opens as the charming blonde prince welcomes her in style. Bro gets punched for acting like a clown. The girl immediately receives a warm bowl of beef noodles to enjoy. Xu Yao tells her not to mind our boy's shitty personality. Also, apparently beef noodles are enough to make this psycho chick fall flat. She can't believe that Chen Yu has beef noodles in the time of an apocalypse, and it makes her wonder if she misjudged him for being poor.